What if I told you there's a hypercar so light it could shame a Formula car? So sharp it could slice through air like a blade? And so rare, you'd have a better chance of meeting a unicorn than seeing one in person? That's not a fantasy. That's Praga Bohema, a hypercar that looks like it's been designed by aliens and tuned by racing gods. It doesn't come from Italy, Germany, or even Britain. It comes from the Czech Republic, from a company most people have never even heard of, a company that's been building machines for over a century. While Ferrari and McLaren chase technology, Praga chases something deeper: purity. They've created a car that's as raw as an F1 racer, yet somehow, unbelievably, it's road legal. This isn't a car that you just drive. It's a car you feel, a machine that grips your soul and refuses to let go. Today, we're diving into the full story behind one of the most mysterious, obsessive, and beautifully engineered cars in the world, the Praga Bohema. A machine that doesn't just break the rules, it rewrites them. Long before names like Ferrari or Lamborghini existed, there was Praga. Founded in 1907 in Prague, this company started with a dream to make machines that could move people faster, safer, and smarter. They built cars, trucks, motorcycles, and even aircraft engines, true pioneers of engineering. But wars came, borders shifted, and the company was swallowed by history. Praga survived, but not as a luxury car maker. They turned to building industrial trucks and racing carts, quietly, efficiently, out of the spotlight. Yet behind the silence, their engineers never stopped dreaming. They remembered their racing bloodline, and they wanted to bring it back, to show the world that innovation wasn't just for the billionaires of the car industry. The result of that dream was Bohema, a car built not to impress investors, but to inspire drivers. When Praga decided to build a hypercar, they didn't call a marketing team. They called a Formula One driver, Romain Grosjean. After his terrifying crash in Bahrain, Grosjean turned toward projects that were about passion, not politics. And when he got behind the wheel of the Bohema prototype, he was stunned. He said, "It feels alive. It reacts instantly. It's like a Formula car, but on the road." Grosjean worked closely with Praga's engineers, fine-tuning the aerodynamics, steering feedback, and suspension to make sure the Bohema behaved like a racing car in disguise. And that's what makes this machine so special. It's not born in a boardroom, it's born on the racetrack. Every component, every millimeter, every bolt, crafted with one goal: precision. In an era where supercars are getting heavier with tech and comfort, Praga did the opposite. They went back to basics. The Bohema's entire chassis and body are made from carbon fiber, meticulously laid by hand. The result? The car weighs just 982 kilograms. That's lighter than a small hatchback, yet it's packing 700 horsepower. The power comes from a 3.8-liter twin-turbo V6, borrowed from the legendary Nissan GT-R, but tuned by Litchfield engineering to perfection. The same engine that powered one of Japan's greatest supercars now sits inside a Czech hypercar that weighs nearly half as much. That combination gives the Bohema a power-to-weight ratio most cars can only dream of. It's so efficient that when you press the throttle, you don't accelerate, you teleport. And yet, it's not about raw speed, it's about control. Look at the Bohema and you'll notice something. Every curve, every vent, every opening has a purpose. There's no wasted space, no decorative gimmicks, just pure aerodynamic intent. The car produces over 900 kilograms of downforce at high speed. That means it can literally stick to the tarmac upside down. The front splitter slices the air cleanly while the rear diffuser channels it like a vacuum. It's not just designed to look fast, it's designed to stay fast. The cockpit sits low, almost claustrophobic, but perfectly shaped around the driver. You don't sit in a Bohema, you wear it. The steering wheel looks like it came straight from a prototype endurance racer. Even the pedals are adjustable, machined from aluminum blocks to fit each driver's legs. This car doesn't want to make you comfortable. It wants to make you connected. Turn the ignition, and the Bohema wakes up with a violent snarl. Not a synthetic note, not an electronic hum, but a raw, mechanical growl. It's the kind of sound that makes your heart race before you even move. When you rev it, the turbos spool like jet turbines. The gearbox clicks like a rifle bolt. It's mechanical art. Every sound, every vibration, every pulse synchronized between man and machine. Push it on a track, and you realize something. It doesn't feel like a car. It feels like a fighter jet that just happens to have wheels. The grip, the agility, the precision, it's all there. At high speeds, it's not chaos, it's choreography. The car dances with physics, and somehow you're leading. In a world dominated by electric motors and driving aids, the Bohema is an act of rebellion. No hybrid system, no heavy batteries, no autopilot, just raw human control. Only 89 units will ever be built, a tribute to Praga's 1899 heritage. Each one will cost around $1.3 million, but every car will be custom-fitted to its owner, seat steering, pedals, even the driving position tailored like a racing suit. Inside, there's no infotainment screen or comfort controls. Instead, you get a minimalist dashboard, exposed carbon weave, and a racing harness that pins you into place. It's not luxurious, it's purposeful. This car doesn't pamper you, it challenges you. And maybe that's the point. Praga didn't build this car to compete with Bugatti or McLaren. They built it to remind us what driving used to feel like, when cars weren't smart, but drivers were. Picture this. You're sitting inside the Bohema, the carbon fiber cockpit echoing with the heartbeat of its twin-turbo V6. You floor the throttle, the rear tires bite, the world compresses into a blur. The sound isn't just noise, it's energy. A deep mechanical roar that vibrates through your bones. You hit 100 kilometers per hour in under 2.3 seconds, but it doesn't feel brutal. It feels effortless. The steering whispers secrets from the road. The suspension translates every pebble. And as you slice through corners at 200 kilometers per hour, you realize something surreal. You're not driving the Bohema, you're part of it. Grosjean once said, "The Bohema doesn't just go fast, it makes you fall in love with driving again." And that's the truth. It's not about chasing records, it's about rediscovering emotion, that electric thrill that made us fall in love with cars in the first place. At full speed, the Bohema feels alive, but more importantly, it makes you feel alive. The Praga Bohema is more than a hypercar. It's a statement, a defiance of trends, a reminder that speed and soul can still coexist. In a world where everything is becoming digital and emotionless, the Bohema roars like a heartbeat, pure, mechanical, unapologetic. It's not for everyone. It's for the dreamers, the racers, the ones who believe that driving is an art form. For people who want to feel every rev, every vibration, every ounce of feedback that comes through the steering wheel. Only a handful will ever own one, but the impact eternal. Praga may have spent decades in silence, but with the Bohema, they've spoken louder than ever, and the world is finally listening. Because sometimes the greatest revolutions don't come from giants, they come from those who refuse to give up on passion. And that is the legend of the Praga Bohema, the hypercar that defies reality. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because stories like this one deserve to be heard by every true car lover on the planet.